Arnab. It could be environment or governance. What's preoccupying you?
Well, I'd make a kind of take a step back and I think we should ask ourselves, what's really different about this ESG question in EM countries, and if you like, China and India in particular, compared to developed markets or DM countries, right? And Michael, you mentioned at the beginning, WPP or Facebook, or you could, if you kind of look back a little further, think about Global Crossing or Tyco. There's a spate of governance crises in many large Western, U.S. in particular. It's happened in various other places, corporates. And every so often these things come out. I would say the big difference is that when these things emerge in countries with strong institutions and rule of law, something changes, right? Somebody goes to jail, and a price is paid, and the rules are tightened, and then things hopefully change, and then we don't have a repeat of the same sort of crisis. In countries with weaker institutions, where the state in particular is involved in large swathes of the economy and is very close to many large corporations, it may be quite difficult to make those kinds of changes, right? And that's why, I think that's the core reason why you would have a stronger misalignment of minority shareholder interests with the majority shareholder, right? If you're running a company for a state, presumably you're running it in the public interest. But if the state itself is an authoritarian entity, or the institutions of the state are not necessarily geared to what you might generally describe as the wider public interest, but a much more narrow public interest, which you could say is the case in many quote-unquote EM countries, it may be quite difficult to get that alignment right. You may be able to persuade people that you're doing that by paying them a dividend, and it may even be true, but there'll still be some doubt about that, and therefore there'll be a discount for that governance issue. So I think focusing on it is very important, and is a very good thing to do. I think the flip side of what Salman said, that you would lock yourself out of most countries, I would say actually I'd put it the other way, right? If you're engaged and you're pushing as a stakeholder, as an active stakeholder, whether it's at the corporate level or the financial sector level or the public sector level, you're more likely to bring about change than if you disengage, right? So maybe that's a very glass half full kind of way of looking at it, but I think that's the sort of approach that I would take.